Hi everyone, welcome to a brand new edition of Hue Spotlight, and it's always good to catch up with some old friends. And while I have Jason Kirkness here in the studio, and Jason, well, let's just say 2024 was a big year for you, but rolling right now into 2025, it's going to be really exciting.
Yeah, I've got my fingers crossed for another great year.
Okay, third studio album. I'm going to let you say the title because I've got something to follow up on that.
The title is called What Got Me Here.
Okay, so we were talking beforehand, and I did some quick math. 30 years of music. There must be a lot of stories to tell on what got you here today, right?
It was quite a lot to unpack, yeah. It's been, we were talking a bit about, I think my first ever performance with the band was in the 1995 talent show at my high school.
And what song did you play?
We played an original song that we wrote. It was kind of a epic opus. It was ill-conceived and ill-performed, but we had a great time, and ever since then I've been sort of hooked on music.
Okay, so if you can kind of transform yourself back into that moment, Jason, how does it compare to the moments now that you are experiencing with the release of the new album and with the buzz?
It's definitely a lot of parallels, because I still get the same butterflies in my stomach that I did for that performance. It's still always like a nervous thing, and I think anytime you share your artistic endeavors with the world and with other people, that you just have to be open to, like, some people enjoying it, some people criticize it, and that really the journey and the relationships that you get from being in music, I think that's the thing that has to kind of come first.
Now, doing this album and, reflecting on the journey that you have made, what stands out in your mind and I guess maybe led you to write some of the songs that are on the album?
That's a good question. Obviously some of the career highlights and accolades and some of the things that people know about, that are sort of front-facing or the public information, like, being on the Billboard charts or winning awards. That stuff is gratifying, but I think, the really great thing that I feel really lucky about is I got a great team. I got a great manager. We talk every day on the phone. I got a great agent, and it's the relationships that come out of being in the music business that really adds the value to to the highs and obviously to the lows and the downtime as well. It's great to have a great team.
What has been, I guess, a key to your success? So it's run a broad span. There must have been some points along the way where you thought, let's just check this, or should I be doing something else? What made you change your mind and stick with the music?
Well, certainly the key to success is persistence, because a no today could be a yes tomorrow. The other thing is, I feel like I have a lot of gratitude for, obviously I'm not selling out arenas, and I don't think that was ever really the goal. I mean, obviously it would be fun to dream when we were teenagers that, like, hey, one day we'll be as famous as U2 or something, but I honestly feel pretty lucky that, I've had a great career. I've had some notoriety, but I've been quite lucky to avoid a lot of sort of the larger excesses. So I've been able to live a really great life, fairly modest, but it's always been about music, and it's always been about building relationships with the people in my life that matter to me.
Well, I know you've got deep down inside a big heart, and you seem really grounded, but the music industry is pretty fickle and can play havoc, right, on your mental health, and we all talk about it. How have you navigated through all of that, Jason, right? Because it's all about, people wanting to hear you. You want to feel that love. And there's a lot of rejection, too.
Yes. Well, okay. As soon as you start removing the ego of it all, and you start thinking about what it is that you'd actually like to do and what you'd like to accomplish, and who you want to be as a person, the like counter and the stream counter and all of that stuff is sort of secondary or even tertiary to the fact that I get to make music, and I get to enjoy my life, and I get to enjoy a good amount of anonymity because if I go outside of the few places that I am reasonably well known, that I don't get, like, I don't have to deal with anything, really. I'm just a normal guy.
Yeah, you are. There's no expectations, right? And you can go in and just be yourself. And I think that is a true reflection of your new music. Making this album, you talked beforehand of having a great team. You worked with a longtime producer and collaborator. How is it different or the same working on this one?
Well, I've worked with Sean Power out of the Hilson studio. We did 2 albums so far, and a live album and an EP. And then I've produced several other artists that I also did at his studio or with his help. And we also worked on a documentary film together. So
yes,
there's a whole bunch of stuff that we're, like, I've only put out 2 records with him as Jason Kirkness, but it still feels like we're talking about something every week or two. And just having those consistent people that you can count on, who are very talented, experts in their field, and absolutely great at what they do. That's an invaluable relationship and something that you want to hang on to for dear life in the fickle music industry.
Okay, so now you're a TV star too. Tell us more about this documentary.
Yeah, so I guess realistically, as time went on, I've developed a whole bunch of other interests. I directed a whole bunch of my music videos. In 2010, I had gone up to Inuvik, and we rolled camera just with a little camcorder that we had at the time and a GoPro. And then the whole time during my first record, we had the GoPro running, and we did a whole bunch of our shenanigans and boys will be boys sort of stuff. So all that that's just been sitting on a hard drive now for over a decade. And with the new record, we rolled tape. We have obviously a bunch of considerably better equipment these days. Sean's got a Blackmagic camera. I got a Sony FS7. And we just started, just for whatever reason, like we always have. We used to be with the little GoPro, and then we just kept rolling tape, and I kind of realized at the end of it, was like, this is something that we should probably share. In the meantime, I've directed 3 other documentaries, just nothing that's particularly out yet, but it's just something that I did as a hobby. So, I started editing, and publicists caught wind of, like, oh, hey, like, you make these other movies. What? And Rick, my manager, he said the same thing, was like, well, why don't you put something out about yourself? So that's upcoming. I hope to have at least something out by maybe February or March to go along with the record and, the 10 years before it.
Well, and what was it like for you to edit something about yourself?
It takes a strong desire to compartmentalize parts of your life, because certainly, having a few of my friends standing behind the camera and, pouring my heart out to, like, and then to go back and then have to, like, review the footage and edit it, it's awkward. It's really quite awkward.
Hey, hands up. Can I have a redo, please?
Yeah.
Oh, but that's fantastic. And, at the end of the day, it's a keepsake for you and, to share, not only with the world, but your family and your friends. And I think it's a good testament to what you've accomplished. Is there a sense of, like, hey, I did pretty damn good when you kind of look at everything?
Yeah, I mean, I have a bunch of records out, too, that I'm really proud of. These last 2 have been exactly what I wanted to do musically and lyrically. So, yeah, I mean, if I wasn't really proud of what I was doing, I don't think I'd keep doing it.
Of course. And what's in the future for Jason?
There's still a couple more songs to release from this record. So What Got Me Here is just brand new on the radio, just like in the last couple of weeks. There's a show coming up on March 15th in Brandon at Houston's. It's part of a Western tour. I think there's 8 tour dates coming up through March through Western Canada. A bunch of festival dates lined up for the summer.
And maybe some more nominations for the Country Music Awards.
Got my fingers crossed.
Yes, you got your fingers crossed. You already got one, like Male Artist of the Year, so things are only looking up. And I'm going to let you introduce the title song, and maybe if there's a story behind it, if you can share it.
Well, yeah, the story is that I think this song is just basically encapsulating sort of the struggles that we all go through, and you know, just sort of sums up that you got to keep trying and keep knocking down the doors and get everything out of your way and stay as focused as you possibly can. This is my new single. It's called "What Got Me Here."
Well, thank you so much. Stay tuned. Here's Jason Kirkness.
That 89 down in the side, I drove it home with one headlight. It barely ran, but it got me here. It was hot as hell, stacking bills. I was almost broken, you could tell, but it paid and it got me here. You talk about worn out, I've torn the soles out of these boots too many times. Been on the bench, been on the field, I won and lost, know how it feels. Yeah, that's what got me here. Every diddly road, every door they closed just kept me moving on. Every dream being crushed, every push come to shove, that's what kept me standing strong. Never took the straightest path, didn't happen just like that. Wouldn't take it back, that's what got me here. I didn't know that summer love was exactly what it was. Didn't last, but it got me here. Fair weather friends, they come and go, but I won't forget the ones back home. They got my back and they got me here. Every dilly road, every door they closed just kept me moving on. Every dream being crushed, every push come to shove, that's what kept me standing strong. Never took the straightest path, didn't happen just like that. Wouldn't take it back, that's what got me here. It's what got me here. You talk about worn out, I've had my heart worn out, torn out through the years. Been on a high, been on a low, I've seen the light, that's how I know. Wasn't easy, but it got me here. Every diddly road, every door they closed just kept me moving on. Every dream being crushed, every push come to shove, that's what kept me standing strong. Never took the straightest path, didn't happen just like that. Wouldn't take it back, that's what got me here. It's what got me here. At 89 down in the side, I drove it home with one headlight. It barely ran, but it got me here.